In this video, I am going to solve few sums of standard 9 physics, and these numericals are based on chapter Newton's law of motion. So if you want, please see, it will be helpful for you. Actually, one child asked me these three questions, question number 18, 19, 20. So hopefully I will finish all these sums in one video or part wise. If it will become so long, so it will difficult to upload in YouTube, then part wise I will upload, means in first video question number 18, then 19, and then 20. So I'm going to read question number 18, then I will explain that how I have solved. A stone is dropped freely from the top of a tower and it reaches the ground in 4 seconds. Taking small g is equals to 10 meter per second square, calculate the height of the tower. First you try to understand what is given. As the first line given as the hint that the body is initially the body is at rest, it means initial velocity is 0. Okay, and time taken by the pebble to reach the floor or the ground is 4 seconds. Small g is given. So which formula we are going to use? Let's see. So three things you have to keep in mind. What are the given things? Initial velocity of a stone, as I told you, small u is equals to 0 meter per second. Time taken is 4 seconds. Acceleration due to gravity is actually small g equals to 9.8, but if it is mentioned in book as whole number, so we will take 10 meter per second square. We have to find out that height, that from which height that stone fallen. So for that, which formula we are going to use? We will use this formula, S equals to ut plus half at square. In place of, as you know that when any body is moving in linear motion, then the distance covered by the body is S. That is the distance. U is initial velocity, time t is time, and a is acceleration due to gravity. And when the body falls from anywhere in downward direction, or you are lifting up any body or throwing in upward direction, it means the body is working against gravity. So during free fall, when a body travel this distance from top to bottom, or from bottom you are throwing it upward, it means this distance in place of s you can take as h. Sometime you will see in few questions you have to mention as depth of any place or any well. Okay, so don't confuse about why we about the letters, that why we are using h or why here we are using s. I hope it is clear that if linear momentum is going on, any body is moving in straight line or in curved line, then we are using generally that this much distance is covered, that is s. But here it is height, so this in place of s we are using h, and in place of a we are using g. That is, this is acceleration due to gravity, which is constant. So I have written h equals to ut plus half 8. In place of 80 I have written gt square. So h, u is 0, so 0 into 4 seconds plus half into, in place of g I have written 10, and in place of time 4 seconds, time square, that is 4 square. So h 0, this is 2 5 ja 10, 4 4 ja 16, and 16 5 ja 80. So overall height was what? 18 meter. It means the stone was dropped from 80 meter height. It took 4 seconds to reach ground floor. Okay, that's all. Here your answer is over. Now question number 19. A pebble is dropped freely in a well from its top. It takes 20 seconds for the pebble to reach the water surface in the well. Try to understand. We will drop a pebble inside the well. So it took 20 seconds when it touched the upper surface of the water inside the well. Everything you have to keep in your mind, and you try to imagine the scene in your imagination. Okay, then what? To reach the water surface in the well, taking a small g is equals to 10 meter per second square, and speed of the sound is 330 meter per second. Find the depth of water surface, okay, and the time when echo is heard after the pebble is dropped. Let's see how I explained it. See, this is the scenario. It may be the well, okay, and this is the water level. Okay, so when we drop a pebble from here, when it touches the surface, it took 20 seconds to touch the surface. This line must be clear. When we drop a pebble, it touches the surface after 20 seconds. So we need to find out the depth of the surface of the water, plus second question was sub question was what? The time when echo is heard after the pebble is dropped. Okay, second question will be that when this pebble is dropped, okay, it took 20 seconds, then the sound created here, then it came back after traveling this distance. So what is the total distance to hear the echo of the pebble sound? So we will add this 20 seconds, because at starting pebble reached here after 20 seconds, then we will calculate that how much distance that sound will travel to come from the surface till this point. That timing we will calculate and we will add with 20 seconds. So let's see how I have solved. First I have written that time is 20 seconds, small g is 10 meter per second square. We need to find out depth of the water surface. We assume that is equals to h. Initial velocity, as we are going to drop any body, so it is free fall, so initial velocity is always 0, so u is equals to 0. So now again we are using that formula, h equals to ut, same formula whatever we did here. H equals to ut plus half at square. This formula is derived from this one, that s equals to ut plus half at square. You must have learned about this formula during the topic discussion. So in place of s I have used h, and in place of a I will use g, not a, here is g. So h equals to ut, again it is 0 into 20 seconds, and here half into g, small g is 10, and timing was 20 seconds, so 10 into 20 square. H equals to 0 into 20 is 0, plus here 2 5 are 10, and 5 into 20, 20 is a 400, so 5 into 400 is 2000 meter. It means height or the depth of the surface from the top of the well is 2000 meter, that is equals to 2 kilometer. Okay, now we are going to calculate how much time will be taken to hear the echo. For that, what is written, speed of sound in air is 330 meter per second. Okay, distance traveled by sound is what? 2000 meter. Time is what? Distance upon speed, that is 2000 upon 330, 6.1 second. How it came, I am going to explain you. We know this formula, that this formula we have learned in junior classes in the chapter speed, distance and time, that speed equals to distance upon time, speed is equals to distance upon time. So here we want to calculate time, so we cross multiplied, time came here and speed is here, the part of denominator of this fraction. So time is equals to distance upon speed. And what is the distance that pebble has traveled? Try to understand what we are calculating. We are calculating that the sound, now sound is produced here, sound produced at this point where the pebble and so the sound is produced here when the pebble and water came in contact with each other. So we are calculating this distance that sound produced, and at what time interval it reaches here up to top where the person is standing, so that he or she can hear the echo. So we are calculating one side timing. Okay, later on we will add this timing also. Okay, so that's why I have written that speed of sound in air is 330 meter per second, distance traveled by sound is 2000 meter, because right now we have calculated this distance 2000 meter. So I just use the values 2000 upon 330, and when you will divide these numbers, this is 6.1 second. It means it took 6.1 second to travel from surface to the top of the well to reach that. So the total distance, not total distance, total timing is 20 second and back plus 6.1 second. That is the thing I have written here, that the time when echo is heard after the pebble is dropped that was the question mark, that is equals to time taken by pebble to reach the surface of water plus time taken by echo sound to return till the top of the well. Here I have written time taken by echo sound in returning. So it is 20 plus 6.1 second, that is 26.1 second. So here your answer is over.